I came to live in Leeds. We had temporary accommodation for 10 months, and in that time we looked around and it was difficult. It was very difficult. One might say, well, why didn't you stay in London? If it was difficult here, it was impossible in London at that time. I went to see a property, I took one look in, turned around, walked back out again, because there was water running through from the roof. It wasn't good. So I worked at that time, when I lived in London, I worked for Lambeth Council, and the council had properties which they wanted people to take over, but you had to queue up to be interviewed whether you were going to get a property. I queued for, what was it, 12 hours?
A long time.
Something like 12
Something
to
like
15 hours through the night. My father ran up to where I was queuing with
a flask of tea.
flasks of coffee and sandwiches. And then, after I was interviewed, I went into work, and my boss said to me, "Are you stark staring mad, coming into work, having queued all night? You'll fall asleep at your desk. Go home and have a rest." So I went home. So that's the reason I came to Leeds, because it was impossible down there. We had, as I say, we had temporary accommodation for 10 months, and my mother-in-law pottered around to see what was going, and she found that there was a flat, or masonette, I should say, on the Queen's House. So I said, well, we'll have a look. We walked in, and straight away I said, yep, I'll have a go at getting this ship shape. The walls were green. It hadn't been looked after that much. But with my father-in-law helping me, we got it ship shape. That was 43 years ago.
43 May, yeah.
And then we've had some happy times and we've had some sad times. We remember the days when there were lovely rose beds round the estate. We remember people enjoying walking through the estate and saying, what a marvellous place this is. The last few years, it's like, how can I compare the estate? It's like a person. A person, when they're born, everyone's cooing over them. They grow up and everyone's congratulating them on all the good things that they do. And when they get older and they look at themselves in the mirror, they're not the same person anymore. They've changed. And it's the same with the estate. The estate has got older. It needs a change. It needs a refreshment. Whilst there is a Jewish community in Leeds, we need to provide for that community. And it doesn't matter whether they're Orthodox or any other part of the religion. We are all Jews together, and we should support each other. Leeds has been good to our community. Okay, there's been one or two little ripples. Even on this estate we've had problems a few years back. But we've come through it. We've stuck together. We've helped each other. And I hope that goes on for many more years to come. We need organisations like the Housing and the Welfare Board. Without them, what are Jewish people going to do?
Without the Housing and the Welfare Board, a lot of people wouldn't survive. You know, especially the older generation, with that complexes like this being built, you know. I mean, there's a lady who does live upstairs, who's a friend of mine, who moved in here when it first got built, owing to the fact that she lived 2 doors from me in a masonette, and because that had steps, she couldn't do the steps anymore. So without a place like this, where would she have gone?
And I think the housing and the welfare board, because you have to link both together, they are two important parts of the community. Without either of them, the community is going to be lost.
Yeah.
You need the housing, you need the welfare board, you need a kosher butcher shop, you need a bakery. Without those, and you need the religious element as well. Without them, there is no community.
We wish them all the best, all the success in getting the new properties up and running, and
we can only wish them all the best for the future, and hope that they get the support from not only from the community, but from the powers that be, so they get the money, so they can do the best that they possibly can. And that's the only thing anyone can wish them all the best for the future, and so they can go on for many, many years to come.